Capricorn 3, the soul's capacity for growth. Growth is life, isn't it? And we like to see things grow, we like to see our children grow, and we like to grow vegetables in the garden sometimes, and we like to see our career grow and our bank balance grow. But I wonder how many people focus on the soul's growth. The soul is in a process of its own evolution, and we can feel moments when the soul is experiencing growth, and we experience those moments as a kind of an electrical buzzing feeling. For me, it's very clear to me that enthusiasm is evidence of the soul's growth and excitement. There's this electrical quality which is the essential stuff of life, and the soul is that. It's made of that. It is that. Its being is that. And so when we experience that feeling, then we know that we're in soul consciousness. And yet very few people engineer their lives in order to move on a track that energy is a constant, a normal experience in life. From day to day, month to month, year to year, we know that the soul is growing because we've had loads of those experiences during that time. Very few people do that. And this particular Sabian mystery is suggesting that we perhaps should focus on that. The quality of avidity, being avid for more experiences in life, is being discussed. This is certainly true of young people, and there's a great deal of adventure expressed. You kind of grow away from your parents, and you're still adventurous. A lot of people travel abroad and try out new things, and they go bungee jumping and skydiving and what have you, in order to have this buzz, this thrill, this feeling of excitement. I can't say that all of it is evidence of soul growth, but there's a difference between certain types of excitement and other types of excitement. I'm not talking about getting off on the pleasure of being scared, as you might do with a fun fair. That's maybe yes, maybe no. Skydiving is a bit different. But it's not an adrenaline rush. There's something else. It's a different feeling. And it's not necessarily intensely passionate. It can just be mellow, but it's still exciting. And there's that recognition necessary. And if you can learn to recognize what it feels like that the soul is growing, how that feels, then you can learn to replicate that. You can go for those kind of experiences if you need that clue. They're pretty obvious, really. When you're offered opportunity and you want to grasp it, and yet you feel fearful or doubtful or cautious, or that you need permission from your partner or parent or peer group, yeah, that's when you're denying the soul's word. The soul's word is, let's do more. Let's have another experience. The soul came to earth in order to experience life, the life force. And the life force is optimized when we're in a position of not quite knowing what to do next, when we have to make it up in the moment, when we have to be creative in order to actually survive and go to the next level of consciousness. So the experiences that we can gain that help us to do that are inevitably going to be challenging on some level, because unless we're actually challenged, we're not really growing. And the sense of taking something new on and then assimilating it is a normal process of breathing out and breathing in. So we can't be adventurous all the time. We have to assimilate those adventures and make them somehow change our normal life experiences. But at some point we get a little bit tired of it all, a bit grey in our feelings and lacking something. And that's evidence that we need another little adventure or challenge or something to pull us up and out of our complacency and resist the entropy that will certainly follow if we don't do it. The real wisdom is that life is itself a rich, deep experience. Not the events particularly, or the people particularly. They're expressions of that which is already within. And there are ways to become more in tune with that inner sense of adventure just by being rather than by doing. The processes of meditation help us to know the difference between turning within and having our mind distracted by everything external. So if we can actually learn to clear the mind and to focus the mind on what's really going on under the surface of things, we will notice that just being alive is quite an exciting experience. There's an amazing amount happening alone, which does not involve any activity, any adventure, any other people, anything at all outside yourself, just being alone. If you are on retreat for a period of days, 20 days or some long period of days, you would lose all interest in what's going on in the world and what you're going to do next. You just be. You learn to become who you are as a beingness rather than a doingness. And then you awaken a sense of lots of things going on internally that have nothing to do with the outside world. They have to do with our assimilation of our experiences. They have to do with our sense of just being alive, and then our sense of being alive here on earth. And then we can contemplate our life circumstances and the reason that we came to be where we are and with whom we are, and also how that might be a springboard for what could come next. We can contemplate what we perceive to be the past and the future. In other words, it's not past, it's not future, it's an aspect of the here and now, because nothing exists other than here and now. But we do have a relationship with what we call the past and the future. And this is very meaningful indeed. And the whole appetite for life that we can experience can be as much directed inwardly as it is outwardly. So it can continue indefinitely, however old you are, however poor or rich you might be. It doesn't make a lot of difference. Life itself is the exciting adventure that we're on. And when you have reached that understanding, then whatever events occur turn into adventures. You keep on having new feelings about life and people that you meet and opportunities, and it's exciting because you've awakened that inner excitement. It is this that gives freedom. And we can think very carefully about the difference between freedom from and freedom to. Freedom from imposition, blockage, poverty. Freedom from, yes, really important, not to be imprisoned in a situation that is not of your choosing. Freedom from. But then what? Surely freedom to is the awakening of optimistic opportunity. And I think in this particular degree we're discussing whether you've made that leap of awareness that it's not enough free from a boss, from an unpleasant relationship, from this, from that, from the other. That's just only halfway there. You're free to do something. Yet you need to make that claim. You need to exercise that choice. You need to have an adventure. And this is funded by the spirit of Capricorn 3, this avidity for life, the soul's capacity for growth.